channel. I'm gonna start calling you Zav Fam. That's your name now, guys. You're my Zav Fam. So hey, Zav Fam, welcome to my channel. So new update on the Lori Vallow case. I stepped away from this case for a couple days because I was putting together your compilation video, and well, I missed out on a new update, so I thought I'd share it with you. It was a couple days ago, but some of you guys might not have heard about it yet. So I guess there's this email that got leaked. Charles sent an email to Banner Life Insurance, and the email said that I guess somebody put a password on his account, basically locked him out of his account, and he didn't do it, okay? I'm going to read you the email here in a minute. So he actually asked for an investigation into Lori because he knew it was her, and I'm sure that's why he changed the beneficiary, why he expressed concern to his lawyers, to his family about if anything happens to him, that it was Lori and her brother Alex. He knew. I mean, he knew. In the divorce papers, he was talking about how Lori was threatening his life, but I just don't understand why he dismissed the divorce papers. Why did he withdraw? So basically he filed for a divorce and then he withdrew it for some reason, and I don't know why. Was he really going to try to work it out with Lori? Like Alex kind of mentions that when after he shoots him and he's talking to the cop, he said, "Oh, they're working on it." Does he mean they were working on the marriage? Like they were working on maybe getting back together, staying together? I mean, you wouldn't think he doesn't trust her enough that he makes his sister his beneficiary. He knows that she freaking put a password under his life insurance, locked him out of his life insurance. Like, what the heck? So what was it that made him withdraw the divorce? Why did he do that? Was he really gonna try to work on it with Lori, or was it just kind of like a trick to make it seem to Lori that he was gonna work on it? Because was he scared? Was like he was scared for his life, or scared what she would do, so that's what she wanted, so he kind of pretended that he was going to work it out? I mean, I just want to know if his intentions was that he really was going to try to work it out with her, or was it just something that he was doing to trick her, to protect himself somehow? Because he's doing that, but then behind the scenes he's making his sister the beneficiary, so obviously he doesn't trust her. I mean, somebody that you don't trust that much, you're not going to want to stay married to them, you know? And somebody that locks you out of your insurance. Oh my God. So here's the email, okay? This lady, I swear, nothing surprises me with her. Okay, so this is his email to Banner Life Insurance. Okay, so it says, "I just tried to change my beneficiary on my life policy to my sister. I was notified by the insurance company that a password was placed on the account on 2/20. They are doing an investigation and will lull the voice recording. I assure you it was Lori. I will update you with the findings. I've been locked out of my own life policy until further notice. If anything should happen to me before I get all this fixed, my beneficiary is Ethel Kathleen Woodcock, my sister. She will use it to take care of JJ. I want nothing to go to Lori or any member of her family. Sincerely, Charles Vallow." Wow. So Justin Lum from Fox 10 is the one that got this leaked email. Between him and East Idaho News, man, they're on it for this case. They're doing a good job reporting on this case, finding stuff. I wish I had like the access to find stuff, to like actually be one of the first to find these things, like the access and the connections. But unfortunately, they do. They work for big companies. They have like the access to get this stuff done, I guess. But anyway, wow, can you believe that? Gosh, just the more I hear about her, and I just heard the evidence. I mean, there's this one article, and we know, I mean, the evidence is just piling. She's probably starting to get real nervous, and that makes me wonder, how long is it going to be until she turns on Chad? I mean, I think it's only a matter of time. He hasn't bailed her out, okay? Of course, he could probably tell her, "Well, I don't have the money," but she's the type, well, dude, you know, I can imagine the type, well, just figure it out, do something, get me out of jail, because, oh. So he doesn't bail her out. Pretty soon it's going to be her life against his. Like, it's going to be like, maybe, I mean, she's going down. I mean, she knows it. She has to know. And as the evidence keeps piling on, her only way to catch any break might be to throw Chad under the bus and do a plea deal. But hopefully Chad, well, I don't even know. I shouldn't say that because they're both wrong. I was going to say, well, hopefully Chad does the deal before her, but they both are wrong. They both did some bad things. So neither of them should get the deal. But I'm just wondering if it's going to come down to where, since they don't have any bodies, if they didn't find anything on Tammy's autopsy, because who knows, if they found something, or on Alex's, they didn't find anything, that if they might want to really get that confession, like to get that one of them tells on the other, so they have like concrete proof of, well, I guess their word against theirs, but at least they have somebody's confession on what happened. I mean, to offer them a deal. And that happens a lot in this kind of stuff. So I just wonder who's going to be the first, and if they are really going to need to do that and offer a deal to one of them for this case, or if they're going to have enough evidence. Hopefully they'll have enough where they don't need to offer either of them the deal. Because I don't want any of them to get a deal. I don't want, it's not fair. Chad is just as guilty as her, in my opinion. I mean, let's see, I really think she's responsible for Joseph Ryan's death and Charles Vallow's death, and then her and I think, the thing is, I think Chad and Lori both planned, and Alex, of course, both kind of planned Charles's death, and then Lori, Alex, and Chad all planned Tammy's death. So they're like all in it together, I feel like. Well, Chad and Lori. Besides, I don't know about Joseph Ryan. I really do think that Alex and Lori were behind Joseph Ryan's death, but I'm not sure if Chad was, because if it was Chad and Lori that close at that time, that he would have been involved in it. I'm not sure, but I definitely do think he is a part of Charles's death, and then Tammy. Well, I think Lori is a part of Tammy's, and Alex was a part of it all. So I don't know if the reason Alex died, because I mean, we know Alex died the day after Tammy's body was exhumed. Alex died the day after. I mean, is that a coincidence, or no? Is that not? Is that because either they were scared that what they were going to find on Tammy that was going to lead them back to Alex, and then Alex was going to talk, so they had to get rid of anybody that was a loose cannon, you know, like anybody that would possibly get them in trouble. So I'm wondering if they got scared once Tammy's body got exhumed, and they said, oh shoot, if Alex left any evidence behind and they go to Alex, Alex might break down and talk. They might interrogate him, and they might trick him, they might scare him, he might actually talk and talk, basically rat us out, because these interrogators are good under pressure, and then if you're kind of weak, sometimes they could break you, you know, so they might be like, oh, Alex will break. Or some people also think that maybe he committed suicide because he was getting nervous. So he heard that Tammy's body got exhumed, and then he got scared and committed suicide. I personally think the first one. I think Lori and Chad got rid of him because they got nervous. They thought, shoot, if he left any evidence behind with Tammy, they're going to go to him and they're going to break him and we're going to get in trouble. And so they took care of it. That's what I think as far as Alex. Now as far as Tammy, I really do think that was Alex that day with the paintball gun, which I was informed that maybe it wasn't a paintball gun. Maybe it was actually a real gun that got jammed or something, or he chickened out or something happened. Either or, I do think that was Alex in the mask. I really do. And something happened. Like he was meant to do something, whether there was something in some kind of gas or some kind of poison in the gun that he shot off that she didn't see, and to her it looked like, oh, it just didn't work, and maybe something did come out, some kind of gas, or maybe it was a real gun and it jammed up. But I do think it was a part of the plan to get rid of Tammy. And you know how I feel about Charles's death, because I talked about it in my last video. I definitely think that was a plan too. Chad and Alex and Lori's plan. And I'm wondering so we know that Lori probably made up a bunch of lies to Alex to get him to feel justified for doing this. So I don't know if you guys, I'll link this video, I'll put it on the end. I'll link the video of Alex's stand-up when he talks about Joseph Ryan, and it kind of tells why he did what he did. And if he was responsible for going back in 2018 and doing whatever that killed Joseph, it makes sense. I mean, Lori filled his head with a bunch of lies on something, you know, on Joseph basically, like I said, I'll link that. If you haven't seen the stand-up, you have to see it. I'll link the video at the end. You know when you get the end and you could click on it, and I'll put it in the description. You have to see what he says about Joseph Ryan, and then you'll understand why he felt justified in doing what he did. So she probably said the same thing about Charles. Well, she probably said about Charles that he was abusive, because you kind of could tell by when stuff that just came out when the cops were talking to Alex and him just talking about protecting his sister. So it's almost like she probably filled his head with, like, Charles was abusing her for years, so he felt justified doing that. And as far as Tammy, who knows what they told him about Tammy to do that. I mean, there are weird beliefs about these zombies and about, it's like they say their beliefs is your spirit's in some kind of limbo, and they just label it, they call it you're a zombie or whatever, and basically I guess they feel like you just have to die if you're a zombie. I mean, there's no other way. But like I was talking about in my previous video, is that just an excuse? And new things have been coming out that Chad is the one actually filling these people with these lies, filling their head with these lies about how, like, his beliefs about the zombie thing and about how people need, about the Joseph Snyder or whatever. I forget what the name was that they said Charles was, but that came from Chad. Chad told Lori that Charles wasn't Charles anymore, and his body was taken over by, was it Joseph Snyder or John Snyder or whatever? I don't even know who that is, but basically somebody that's not good, and that he had to go. And that was all coming from Chad. So Chad, I feel like, was kind of calling the shots. He probably is the one that told Lori that her kids had to go and they were zombies. And Lori just has that weak type, I don't even know what you want to call it, but just where she's, first of all, morally not very good person, just selfish and not a good person, possibly narcissist. I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about her to know that for sure, but she definitely seems to be kind of heartless and not care about others. And so, and very easily influenced, as we could see. She seems really influenced by Chad. I think she was reading his books for years, and she probably became, like, obsessed, thinking he was some kind of god, and then she meets him, and then, it was almost like this infatuation with him, because she thinks I don't know, that he's some kind of god and has this power and has this knowledge, and I think he was just using it, for his own gain. Chad, I mean, he was just pretending. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if I guess we'll never know this, because how are we supposed to know what's inside their head? But if they really do believe this stuff, like, does Chad, is he some, like, kind of delusional and he really believes this and she really believes him? Or are they just using it for an excuse to do all this bad stuff? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I really don't. It could be either or. I mean, Chad could be pretending for the power, and people look up to him and they think he has all this knowledge, and he could say, go do this, go do that, this person has to go, and people are listening to him. And Lori thinks she's some poo, she's married to this guy, and or does one of them know? Does Chad know he's basically doing this? He's just making up stuff, and Lori is really believing him, or or they both know this and they're both using it as an excuse? Are they both delusional and crazy? Is Chad just the one that's kind of delusional and crazy? Or no, it would be more that Lori was the one that was just kind of believing him, and Chad was just knew what he was doing, but was just doing it for power. I don't know. They're pretty crazy, though. I just wonder when they're gonna find these kids. I guess they said they had to wait till it got warmer out to search Yellowstone, because the grounds are all frozen and snow, and they can't go to certain places. I mean, they'd be very limited right now, so they have to wait till springtime and it starts getting nice for them to actually search Yellowstone really good. So it might be a while before, by the time they get out there, I don't know if they'll find any bodies, and that might be why they feel so confident that they're going to get away with it. But I got news for you, Lori. You don't need a body to be convicted of murder. Nope, you don't. And I don't think you're going to get away with it. And I don't think Chad is either. I wanted to add this picture in It's Gray Hughes added it on a Facebook group, and it looks like he figured out exactly where that picture was taken. Look at that. It's like perfect. Like that is definitely where the picture was taken. Good job, Gray Hughes. Wow. That's crazy. And somebody mentioned that his pants, Alex's pants were muddy. I mean, I don't know. Can't really tell, maybe, but sometimes jeans are hard to tell because you know how they have that dirty look sometimes. Okay, so it's about to end this video, but some new articles came out. Okay, so a couple more updates actually. So remember how Lori requested to have all this discovery that the prosecution had, all this information about Charles and just the autopsy reports and just all this information, and the prosecutor denied her. So I'm going to read you a couple parts from this article. So Lori Vallow Daybell's request to obtain evidence related to a murder investigation has been rejected by the state's prosecutors. That's good news. So Vallow Daybell is in jail in Madison County, Idaho, still with $1 million bail, so that's good. So her charges is desertion and non-support after her 2 children went missing in September 2019. And then we know that they're also investigating Tammy's death. So, and Charles's. And she's going down. She's going down. I mean, it's only a matter of time. That's 3 different things that she could go down for. I mean, she's bound to go down at least for one of them, and they're all serious things. Even if she isn't found guilty on Charles, Tammy, or the kids, on all 3, but even if she's found guilty on one of them, like if it's a murder charge, that's life in prison. So as long as we get her on one, and Chad too, because I know Chad's involved. I mean, okay, so earlier this month, Vallow Daybell's attorney filed subpoenas for new information connected to bank records, account information, and emails related to an ongoing murder investigation. Vallow Daybell's lawyer, Mark Means, filed a request to the Idaho Attorney General's office and the Fremont County Prosecutor's office for all documents related to a murder investigation, including electronic records, reports, tests, photographs, witness or suspect statements related to the murder investigation. Okay? But Rob Wood is the prosecutor, the Idaho State Prosecutor, objected to Vallow Daybell's request. In new paperwork filed to the courts, Wood said the deaths of the above-mentioned individuals are irrelevant to the desertion of the minor children who are the subject of the above-captioned case. So basically her defense right now is for the desertion of her kids, for Tylee and JJ. Well, they're requesting all the discovery for the other investigations. So they're saying, no, this is something totally, a whole separate case. So it's irrelevant for this case. So no, you can't have all this information. But I'm sure once she gets charged, because she's not been officially charged for these other cases, these other murders. So probably once she's charged for each one, then she could request the discovery per case, you know. But for this case, no. They're saying no. Right now, you're charged with the desertion of the minor children, and the stuff you're requesting has nothing to do with this case. I mean, it kind of does, but I mean, well, no, they're all separate acts. So basically, for that specific thing, but I feel like it is all related, because it all is the same people, and it's about the same crazy delusions and evilness, but it's separate instances. So yeah, so that's good. It says that Wood said the documents would require the state to collect evidence for the defendant. Wood denied several of the requests, adding that the request is vague, overly broad, unduly burdensome, and may include attorney work product. So that's that. So that's good news. She got denied. And then her bond reduction hearing, because you know she got it reduced from $5 million to $1 million, then she basically fired the judge and got a new judge, which I think was her mistake, because she's got a woman judge, and I just feel like she's good with those men, because somehow she flirts with them and has this way where she like seduces them, or whatever she does to these men to make them fall for her. There won't be any chance of that, because this is a woman. I'm not saying that judge would have been manipulated by her, but I'm just saying the chances are none now, because it's not a man, it's a woman. So I think she screwed herself by doing that. But anyway, so a bond reduction hearing for Lori Vallow Daybell has been postponed a second time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The hearing was originally scheduled for April 17th. It was postponed to April 24th, but has now been pushed back to Friday, May 1st at 2 p.m. So hopefully that'll be televised or recorded where we could watch it. I don't know if they've let cameras into all the other hearings, so I'm sure they'll let the cameras into this one too. So the rescheduling comes due to a continued extension of the Idaho Supreme Court's emergency reduction order as a result of the coronavirus. Courthouses are currently operating at reduced levels due as a limited hearings are being held and public access is extremely restricted. So I hope she doesn't get a reduction of the bond, but I don't think she will. I really don't think. I think, why are they even bothering with that? I mean, obviously she's got some serious charges here, and it's only a matter of time they're going to charge her for these other murders. So all these charges, I just don't think they're going to reduce her bond. I hope not. Okay, so here's another thing. So the list of the possible witnesses have been released now this is for just the case of Tylee and JJ. Okay, so this isn't for Charles Vallow's murder. This isn't for Alex Cox's murder. This isn't for Tammy Daybell's murder. This is the witness list for Tylee and JJ, the desertion and disappearance and whatever comes about with that case. So prosecutors have revealed that Chad Daybell and Lori's son Colby Ryan are among the approximately 50 witnesses that might be called to testify at Lori's preliminary hearing and the grand jury proceedings or during her actual trial. So Chad Daybell and Colby Ryan might have to basically testify either at the preliminary hearing, the grand jury proceedings, or during the actual trial. So we'll see. Chad will have no recourse should he be called to testify either, as husband-wife privilege does not apply in this case. Idaho prohibits the practice in 5 specific instances, 2 of which apply to Lori's case. Yes, that's good. The first is when the trial revolves around an issue concerning the physical, mental, or emotional condition of or injury, abandonment, or neglect of a child. Lori's case also does not extend the couple that right because it is a criminal action or proceeding in which one spouse is charged with a crime against the person or property of a person residing in the household of either spouse. It will not take much coaxing to get Lori's son on the stand, however, as he is also the brother of Tylee. And yeah, I don't think he'll have a problem with getting on the stand because he's mad at his mom. I mean, he visited her in jail, I know at least the one time that came out, and she won't give him any answers. And he's made those videos trying to plead with her, like, come on. This is before she was even arrested. She wouldn't talk to him. She wouldn't respond to him. So you better believe that he'll testify against her. But does he know anything that's gonna help the prosecution? I don't know. I mean, if he thinks she's this great mother and he doesn't really have any information, I don't know how that's gonna help the case. But Colby has made no secret about the anger he has towards Lori, though he did visit her in jail after she extradited back to Idaho. Other notable names include Lori's cousin Melanie Pawlowski and her husband Brandon Boudreau, Chad's parents Jack and Sheila Daybell. Wow, I wonder what they're going to say. And Lori's former sister-in-law, Kay Woodcock. So we kind of know, wonder let's say, picture Melanie up on the stand in the trial, testifying against Lori in front of Lori. Whose side is she going to take? That makes you wonder. Because she's claiming that she thinks Chad and Lori are crazy now. But I think it's just all to try to get her out of this. So is she going to lie up on stand just to save her butt? Because I think she definitely knows more than... She knows something about this stuff is what I'm saying. So I'm wondering if she's going to lie under oath and say she doesn't know anything. Because I don't believe that. I believe she knows some stuff. So we'll see how that goes. We know Brandon Boudreau, what side he'll take. Chad's parents, Jack and Sheila Daybell, though. Wonder what they're going to say. That's going to be pretty interesting. How they're going to view this whole thing. Like what they think of what's going on with Chad. How they're going to kind of see it. So do you think it will be televised or will be recorded? I hope so, because it's been a highly publicized case, so I think they would allow the cameras in the court. But I think it's per judge. Like the judge has that right to say yes cameras, no cameras. And we don't know. Michelle, the new judge, is she going to allow it? We know the other judge that got dismissed or whatever, he allowed it because we saw that, but I don't know if the new judge will allow it, hopefully, because I would like to see this. Okay, so I wonder how long it'll take, because you know there's going to be more than one trial. There's going to be this trial, there's going to be Charles's trial, there's going to be, well, Charles's murder trial probably, Alex Cox's murder trial, Tammy Daybell's murder trial. I think they're going to, hopefully they'll have enough evidence for all of those. So also another witness is Lori's brother Adam Cox. He's been kind of quiet through all this. I know he's a radio DJ, and I originally was watching a video of him just talking about his job, like it was for the station that he was, the radio station he was working for. But now I can't find it. They must have took it all offline. I wish I would have made a copy of it before they did that. But anyway, so yeah, he's could be a possible witness, and 2 members of the National Park Service. So, and then Reverend Colin Moore, aka Kahu Koko, are also on the list. So I don't know, Reverend, is that their Reverend maybe? Would that be like from the LDS church? I'm not sure if they call him Reverend. I don't know who that is. If you guys know who Reverend Colin Moore is that like Chad and Lori's Reverend from the church they go to? Man, this basement's already bothering me this quick. Some days I could be down here a little bit longer, but today it's really getting to me. So I'm gonna end this here, guys. I just had to let you guys know about this email and her locking him out of his own insurance. Oh my gosh, this evidence is just piling up on her. So I just wonder how much evidence though do they have on the kids? Because I mean, it looks like they're getting some evidence on Charles's death, and they're building a case on Tammy's death. Now what about the kids? Wonder how much evidence they have about the kids. And that's what I'm worried, that they're going to have to offer a deal to one of them to find out, or to have enough evidence to charge either one of them with the kids. I feel like if they don't, I don't know what they have. Hopefully they have some good evidence and stuff that we don't know maybe about the kids' disappearance. Because they have some other stuff, but this wouldn't necessarily help. Like this new information with Charles, that wouldn't help the kids' disappearance case. I don't know, I just hope they have enough for the kids' disappearance too, or whatever happened to the kids, that they don't have to offer them a deal. I just don't want them to get a deal. It's not fair. It really isn't. So that's all that I got for this video. So we got, just to recap, we have Lori trying to put a password to basically lock out Charles from his insurance, his life insurance. So he knew exactly who it was, and he went to his insurance and said, hey, listen, I didn't do this, it's Lori, and if something happens to me, it's Lori. I don't want her to have anything. I'm making my sister the beneficiary. So we have that. We have the prosecution rejecting all of the requests of Lori's defense, of requesting all this information about Charles and just all this discovery information. So the prosecutors rejected that. Bond reduction has been postponed till May 1st. And then we have Chad has to testify against Lori, and so does her son Colby Ryan. And the whole husband testifying against against each other, or the spouses testifying against each other, does not apply because of the specific charges. So this is good news all around, I feel like. Good news. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have heard anything more about these situations, if you know who Reverend Colin Moore is, and yeah, just any comment. I love reading your comments. Sometimes I don't get to every single one. I try to respond and read as many as possible, but sometimes there's so many, but I love reading them, and I love responding, and you guys especially like if I'm having a bad day, I could read some of your comments and it just makes me smile. Well, some of them. I know sometimes I get some bad comments, but then I just keep going and keep reading until I come to some good ones, and it makes me feel all better again. So anyway, but yeah, I hope you guys are all doing good and safe, and hopefully you guys aren't going too stir crazy at home. I know May 1st, there's some businesses going to be opening up in certain states, so that's good news. There's some progress. Hopefully it'll work out and everybody has good policies in place now and safety precautions, so when it does, there's not a big spike in cases, and hopefully it's a good plan. So we'll see. But I mean, it's good news. May 1st, it's some hope. I mean, that's only a week away, basically. Well, what's today's date? depending on, I don't know when this video will be edited and up, but it's the 22nd, so it's not like, you know, a week or so away, a little over a week away. Hey, that's not bad. I know they're starting out with just a few businesses, but it's a start, and it'll eventually get back to normal. I mean, it won't be like it's not going to be normal like it was before, but it'll be normal. It'll be the new normal. It'll be what we'll get used to it, and it'll be okay. I really do believe that. It'll be something we'll all have to get used to, but then we'll be okay, and then it'll be our new normal, and maybe there'll be some good that comes out of it. Maybe, you know, there'll be some things that we have to get used to, but maybe in the end it'll actually be some good things that come out of it. So yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm almost done with your compilation video. You guys can keep sending more videos in if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine. Either way is fine. I got about 20 of them, I would say. I just hope you guys are all doing good. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do a live in a couple days. I promise this time. I have to. I miss you guys. It was just, that last one kind of turned me off because it even says, every time I would do a live in the last, like, well, since the quarantine, it would say, expect issues, basically. And that last one, I don't know, it was just with the guest and we couldn't hear each other and we were on a delay. Like, I would hear the guest like almost like a whole minute after they would say something, and they would be just sitting there and I would hear it, but they would hear it too, and they'd just be sitting there and hear what they said like a minute ago. It just made it hard to communicate. But maybe I might try just to do the old school live streaming just right from YouTube, and then I won't be able to have guests on, but at least I could chat with you guys for a little bit. So maybe I'll do that. Well, I could try to do it with guests, and if it is an issue, then I'll just do one by myself. And I know I keep saying that, and I'm so sorry that I haven't done one in such a long time. Sometime this week, watch, I will. Either tomorrow. I don't know when I'll have this video edited, so today's the 22nd. It might not be up till tomorrow. So hopefully the day after this this gets up and uploaded, the day after that, hopefully I'll do a live with you guys. And let me know any requests for new cases that you would like me to follow. I've been so into this case, and I keep checking on, well, the Evelyn Boswell case, that's like, the investigation is just stalled. Like, there hasn't been anything new. I think they're just waiting until everything gets back starting again. So I don't think there's been anything new in that case. But it's okay because they're all in jail. Well, Angela's in jail and Megan's in jail. So, hey, just make them wait until they're able to really get into this investigation. I just hope the time doesn't affect the evidence. And then we have Letitia. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't think there's been much new with her yet either. But those are the 3 cases I have been following and checking up on. But if there's any other ones that you'd like me to talk about, let me know. Alright guys, well, hopefully you guys are all healthy, safe, and doing well, and happy, and, well, happy as you can be, I guess, for everything that's going on. Just hang in there. It's there's a light at the end of the tunnel, I promise. I could see it. There definitely is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just hang in there. And we'll all get through this. I know what's another month? I mean, we've already been quarantined for, what, a couple months now? I mean, what's another month or 2 when it's your whole life? You know, like for the safety of your life and your family's life. What's another month to make sure that we're safe and that there's proper safety precautions and everybody's ready to do this and to slowly see how they work, you know? I think they're trying to be safe and protect us, so they're looking out for our well-being. I mean, we'll get through this. Thank you for watching and being so supportive and just being so awesome with your comments and just being so supportive of what I do here. So, hope you guys all have a good night. Bye.